Excellent show.
Well,
Hey, y'all. It's Sean Doherty and Michael Dunn Jr. We are Giving Excellence Movement, man. It's such a pleasure to be here. Yes. We're at Spayse Studios in Dallas. This is our Giving Excellence show. We hope you're tuning in. We have some amazing guests today. And Mike, what are we here for, man?
One thing we're here for is to provide greatness. We want to provide value to the world and to the people, and we think that with the vision that we have and the people that we have today on this show, we for sure have a lot of value, and we're just going to welcome in some of our guests as well.
Yeah, and the Giving Excellence show here, Mike and I met about 2 years ago at the gym, and we had a vision to impact the youth, but not only the youth, but people worldwide, to take their creative spirits, their creative ideas, and put them into action in an honorable way. So the guests we have on this show are going to be local, young and old entrepreneurs and young and old leaders in the community that lead in the right way. So today is going to be great. I'm so excited. You know, Israel gave us the opportunity to come to Spayse Studios. And if you're intrigued of having a show just like us, please inbox them at Spayse Studios. We are streaming live at Spayse Studios, as well as our special guest, Facebook Live, Raven Turner, which will lead us right into that. We're going to introduce Raven. She's an amazing individual. She's a motivational speaker, but more than that, a book writer and an inspirational person in general. We're going to introduce her book as well today. So I've always dreamed about writing a book as well. Raven Turner speaks at schools nationwide, as well as businesses, different events, so she's very valuable. Mike and I definitely look up to her. We can only hope to aspire to get to her point in the near future, so we're learning with her. She's got her great videographer here tuning in as well. So it's just an honor. Raven's going to give you a little bit of love, a little bit of inspiration, show you guys what she can offer. We'll give you ways to connect with her today, so that if you want to bring her talent in to see you, we'll be able to give you those contact information for her. So without further ado, we got Raven Turner in the house. She wrote the book Pushed: Turning Adversity into Advantage. So she just recently got off a trip to Prairie View A&M, her alma mater. So here's a little snippet of what she can offer. She's amazing. Thank you so much, Raven, for being here. And here she is.
Hi, everybody. Well, first, let me say thank you to Giving Excellence for allowing me to be on their show today. It is a great honor and a privilege. And as Sean mentioned, I'm a speaker and an author. And what I'm out to do is impact the youth, impact people, the society, the masses, anybody who is willing to listen. You know, my desire is to help people understand that they are capable of achieving anything that they put their mind to. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is hard. But I want people to understand to stop placing limits on themselves. And a lot of times society places limits on us. They tell us what we can and cannot do based on our age, maybe based on our economic background. And I need people to understand that you can achieve success, and it all starts in the mind. And if you just go after it, if you take a risk, I mean, you will wind up in places you had no idea you could end up. So when I'm speaking to my audience, despite who may be in the audience, young kids, millennials, adults, I'm trying to inspire everybody to take action for their life and go after what it is that they want. It's not easy trying to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy trying to do anything, but anything worth having is not going to be easy. A lot of times it's going to take patience, and it's a lot of things that you're going to have to do, and it's all about the process, and everyone's got to go through the process. And if you go through the process, you're going to grow. It's going to stretch you a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. You know, go through the process. If it's you want to, you know, go to a certain college, if you want to, you know, whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever that goal may look like for you, go after it and put everything into it. Stop giving 100%, which is just the bare minimum. Give 120. See what happens when you give 120% and you give everything to what it is that you want. So that is a little bit about what I do and speak about. I speak about different things, and entrepreneurship is one of them. So if you guys would like to get in contact with me, as Sean said later, we will give you that contact information. So I just thank you guys for having me on the show, giving excellence. I love the movement that you guys are doing, and I'm glad to be here and glad to be a part of this opportunity.
Awesome, Raven. Are we about to show your commercial right now? It's fresh, hot off the press, so we're about to transition into that. Jay, go ahead and take it away.
The time is now. On everything. Took my heart away from money. I ain't interested in fame. And I pray that never change.
Sorry.
Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins. And I put that on my name. The time is now.
Dang. Look at that. Look at that.
Thank you,
Spicy
guys.
on that. That was fresh.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sam, for producing that amazing commercial. That's going to be valuable in every part of your life and your industry that you're in. And thank you for writing this amazing book, Pushed. You know, Mike and I have been starting this journey of trying to inspire people. Not only people, we're more specifically involved with the youth, middle to high school age children. And we had this amazing idea. And most importantly, Mike, who is our creative director, I'm the business strategist of Giving Excellence Movement. But we've tried to figure out different ways to give information to kids that don't have that guidance, but make it sustainable. Mm-hmm. By that meaning, instead of speaking to a classroom and just leaving and then forgetting what we said the next day, having that oomph of energy, we really want to make it sustainable so kids can have access to us in our motivation as we go along, so that if they wake up the next day, they have a way to connect and to be like, what did Raven just say? Or what did Mike and Sean just say when they came and spoke to my classroom? Those are the things that I admire about you, and the fact that you have a template, you have a booklet of your personal stories that might touch someone. You don't know who's in the room each and every time when you go and speak to a classroom. I saw you at Carrabba's speaking to the management team. I mean, the value of Raven is amazing, and we're just so grateful that she took the time today to come and speak with us. And the goal, obviously, today is to give guidance to young kids and even older generations to take those creative thoughts and put it into action. And it's easy to say, am I wrong? It's easy to say, but it's taken Mike and I, although it's a process, it's taken us a year and a half to really put footing on what we represent and the brand we want to represent. And we want to be advocates and professional role models in every single entertainment industry, whether it's media, acting, TV shows, podcasts like here. So Mike, show your appreciation to Raven just before we get into any questions.
You know, Raven, I greatly appreciate for what you're doing within the communities and the schools to want to we got to help these young kids to be a professional role model, as we call each of us, because obviously, I like to say we are not just living for ourselves, but we're living testimonies for others. So our shares, our stories, we connect with others and help them aspire to do something, be great. And Raven, we greatly appreciate you. We would love for you now to speak and let the world know who you are and what you truly represent.
Absolutely. So Raven, we'll start off by asking, I know you went to college at Prairie View and A&M, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What sort of, as you were growing up, was there a certain mentor in your life that you really latched on to, or was it an outside factor that might have happened in your life that said, hey, I know you're amazing at sports and that's a huge part of your life? Was there any moment in time that was like maybe the 9-to-5 job route or being an employee for someone else instead of starting your own future and building your own legacy? At what point in your life did you say, hey, I'm going to take this life into my own hands and produce something great?
Well, so growing up, I really didn't have a mentor. I really didn't look up to anyone. Growing up, I was just a kid who loved to play sports, and I went to college at Prairie View A&M University on a track scholarship. But I would have to say the closest thing to like a mentor or anyone that I looked up to and it was like, I want to, do things like that was my best friend's mother. She's like my second mom. I call her Mama Keela. She's a vice president of Carrabba's. So, just to see her story and how she got to where she got, it's an amazing story. She started at Taco Bell, I think like as just a regular employee and worked her way up. And that's true success, starting from the bottom and working your way up. And, while I was in college, I wanted to be a collegiate athletic director. People always say if you had a job and you love to do it and not get paid, what would it be? So me, I just know doctor, lawyer, teacher, those things are okay, but that's not what I'm passionate about. I'm not going to be able to give 100% in the doctor's office or the teacher. So I tried sports and I was knocking on all these doors, Nike, Central Florida, NCAA, college football playoffs, and no one was giving me an opportunity. And I was getting real close. Sometimes we get so close to something we can almost taste it, but I couldn't grab it. So between 2012 and 16, no doors that I were knocking on were opening. And God I've always known I had a bigger purpose, right? I don't know how to explain it. I just know, it's just something internal that I knew.
It's your intuition.
Yes. Yeah. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. I always felt like people are going to know my name for doing something good, inspiring, impacting, but I didn't know what for.
Right.
So after none of those doors were opening, a vision was becoming a little bit more clear. Like God is telling me, I'm going to set you up to work for yourself and you were going to inspire people, right? Indeed. And then I got hooked up with a guy named Kendall Ficklin, who was associated with Eric Thomas and Associates.
Kendall, I know you. I'm coming after you
and
soon.
I got hooked up with Kendall, and I just started speaking, and empowering youth. So many people who think they cannot be successful. So many people who think success is elusive or because of where they're from. And I didn't come from a lot of money. But, if you get connected with the right people and you have a certain mindset, you become intentional about what you're doing. You become methodical with the way you do things. Things can start happening. And like I said earlier, it's a process. What you guys are doing is a process. When I first met Sean, he was telling me his ideas, and I was, and now I'm here on a podcast. Yeah. A couple of months ago when I first met him, we had lunch at Panera Bread, and it wasn't even all the vision. He was just telling me the vision. But you see what happens when you put action to what you're doing. Yeah. We look at these people who are successful out here, and we're like, man, I want to be like them. How do I become like them, right? Right. It's all about action and execution. It's all about being intentional, and it's all about going through a process. So that's kind of, let me not get ahead, but that's kind of answering that question.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And what really hit me is I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, a very traditional city that grew up on the UP Railroad, ConAgra Foods, very structured organizations that if you didn't work for one of those companies, you kind of were a failure in a lot of people's eyes, and being a business owner was a huge risk. So if you were to talk about owning your own business, it'd be like, are you serious? That's not going to happen. And so I moved to Dallas, and doors started opening. I opened my mind to different opportunities and have been grateful enough to do that. But I think that my mindset completely changed, and you talked about mindset in your life. Adversity really brought the true colors out of myself. And what do you say for maybe kids that are watching this that aren't intuitively motivated, don't have someone pouring into them, showing them love and supporting them. Because in 24 years of my life, I had people pouring love into me, but not direction as far as the legacy I want to have. I could live my life working for a job or an employer, but now I see a true vision. And would you say open-mindedness to people that have a higher level of thinking would impact you? And what would you say to those kids that don't have that for them? And maybe being an entrepreneur isn't for everyone, but how do you give them the knowledge and the wherewithal to say, hey, it's possible, and to take that creative thought into actual action? How would you pour into kids that might be watching that, and what would you say to them?
So what I would say, you can get motivated from a lot of different things. I mean, for myself, I'm just self-motivated by the fact that I'm not where I want to be at, like that motivates me every day. I work at a job where I work overnight, and I work with people who have disabilities they cannot do for themselves. That motivates me. The fact that I have my health and strength, I'm able to wake up in the morning and I have these blessings. Those are things we take for granted, and if you wake up every day, you can get out of bed, you can open up your eyes, you can go out the front door on your own. You don't have to have a walker, you don't have to have someone assisting you. You have all the opportunity in the world to go out here and do something. So if you are not doing it, you're being selfish. And I don't mean to be rude, but I mean you are. And as kids, you're young, but this is the time to find out what you want to do. There's a lot of kids, we all just want to go viral, right? We all want to be overnight sensation. But imagine if you find out what your passion is at an early age, and you don't have to have all the answers, because you're not going to know all the answers. So that's why you get connected with the right people who can help you, And like you said, everyone is not an entrepreneur. This takes a lot of work. I mean, this is very hard.
It's hard.
There's no one telling you what to do. Like, you got to get up and do it every single day, every day. I get off of work at 8 a.m. I come home. I don't take a nap some days because my competition is not sleeping.
No.
And the rest of the world is up. So I have to be up, right? And then I have to send out stuff to get speaking engagements. I got to connect with my man Sam here. We're a we're a two-person team right now. We want to build a team, and we will do that as we keep growing. But to anyone who's watching, young, millennial, older, like, it's never too late.
No,
right?
Never
I
is.
know young people who are speakers, who have businesses, who wrote 8 books. I've never met them, but I follow them. So that is just letting me know right there. Once you find your passion and you find your gift, doors are going to open up. The world will make room for your gift, right? Like, it's great you have education. I have education. I'm getting my master's, but your gift will open doors for you.
Right.
So you got to find what it is that your gift is. And it's something kind of like internal, like, what are you naturally born and gifted with, right? Mine's speaking.
Right.
So you find a way.
Yeah.
So,
Go in. She's on one right now.
You find a way to, inspire people like that. And then the services. People have to pay for your services. That's how the world works, right?
Value, creating value.
Yes, you're creating value. And something you mentioned about the programs earlier, that's a huge idea. A lot of people come in and speak and they just leave. We don't want to do that. We want to build a relationship. We want these kids to know our names. We want them to feel comfortable with us so we can really have an impact on them. So the program thing is awesome. You send assessments afterwards, surveys, you pop up on them, go talk to the kids. I mean, that's how it's done.
Absolutely. And I'm going to let Mike take it away here in a second, but give me 1 second. Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm sure most people know him, but we are in the thank you economy, and so connecting with your fans and really diving in and showing love and faith into that fan group, and giving back to them because they're what keep you going. So giving grace and thanks to people that follow you, even at the bottom stage, throughout the thick and thin, is very valuable to create that environment. So, Mike, do you have any feedback or questions for Raven at all?
I really just, it's more so I'm piggyback off of what she said. I really agree that when you were young and you wanted to find out why you were here, what's your individual purpose, right? Because we all say that we all have a purpose in our life. There's a reason why we're here. And I just think that when you start to open up your mind to say, okay, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And you ask yourself these questions. And, it truly begins with knowing who you are in your inner being. Simple as that.
He's going in.
Yes.
Here we go.
You have to give yourself attention, and you have to be intentional about what you're trying to seek. Because I like to tell the kids, and I got 2 boys myself, 2 young boys, 4 and 6.
We love
Anthony and Jeremiah, I love you. Daddy's doing this for us, of course, in the world. And I like to tell them that all the power, all the knowledge that they have is already within them.
Yes.
And I feel that that's for everyone. Like when Raven was saying, you find that passion, that's within inside of you, and it's always speaking to you. It's always giving you that reminder, like, this is why you're here. Yeah. Why are you not going for it?
Keep nudging you.
Right. What is stopping you from getting to that next moment in your life? It's that mind, right? This thing that we have inside of here is so powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I really appreciate what you're doing, because like you said, empowering these people, youth need it very badly, but empowering people in general, just to understand how the mind works and how powerful it is. Like this whole podcast started from just a thought, right?
Yeah.
Everything in this world started from a thought.
Yes.
And then it manifested into reality. So that's all I had to say. And I really, on to next. I know, Sean, this is our first podcast. This is our first ever. And it's going to go down as history. And we're grateful. Most importantly, we give all the glory to God, because, without God, none of this is possible. And we like to say with God, all things are possible, because that's true. So we're all big faith believers here. And that's how we got to where we're at now. It's because we relied on our faith. And I just wanted to go and ask you a question, Raven. You mentioned to me that your faith played a big role in your success that you have achieved. How can you share a little bit of times where you had to be strong and just rely on God to get you through that adversity in that moment?
Yeah, so I like everything you just said. That was
appreciate it.
About the thoughts.
Can I help you on that one?
Thank you. About the thoughts. So let me answer the question you just asked first before I forget. But adversity, is huge. A lot of times a lot of people in the world, we run from adversity, right? We don't like being uncomfortable. We don't like being put in difficult situations. But really, when you are faced with adversity and challenges, you see what type of individual you really, really are.
It brings the best out of you.
It does. And like you said, faith plays a big role, and I just know everything in life happens for a reason. I just believe that. Like, what is for you is going to be for you. And if that was meant for you to be there, if that was meant for you to go to that event, like, it would have happened.
Right.
And when things don't happen the way you envision it, it's for a reason. And we've heard so many times, like, if it's a no from God, he's got something better, right?
Yep.
But at the time, we don't want to hear that at all. I know I don't. And when I wasn't getting Nike and stuff, I'm like, what in the world could be better than this? Why are you withholding this from me?
Right.
But that's not why you're here. You got something better to do, and you're gonna love it. So through adversity, this is how I found my purpose, and that's how I came up with this book, Push, because the adversity pushed me into my purpose.
Right.
And it's all about turning adversity into your advantage.
Turn it into advantage.
Right.
I tell you once, I'll tell you again.
Right.
Turn adversity into advantage. And hey, Raven, I hate to cut you short. We're going to close out with our new, just released Giving Excellence commercial. We'll get right back to you after this, and then we're going to close out. Thank you so much. Check out our video. Giving Excellence Movement is a culture of individuals that are transforming the entertainment industry into an educational platform. Through our variety of services, we bring years of study, personal development, mentorship, and life experiences that not only educate the youth, but also aspiring entrepreneurs to walk as a role model and create positive change within their community. We see there's a major need in the entertainment industry for powerful young role models that the youth can latch onto and bring about lasting change in not only their lives, but the lives of thousands of others that may need a helpful hand to get out of their current circumstances. Our services include live speaking at schools, businesses, and events, TV show and event host, uplifting music production, brand ambassador work such as commercial advertising, acting, and much more. If you would like Giving Excellence to come provide your school, business, show, or event a boost of positive, sustainable personal development, please inbox us at givingexmovement@gmail.com and visit us at our website at www.givingexmovement.com. We are honored to bring the movement to you and look forward to continuing to transform the entertainment industry into one that can showcase young, professional role models that our next generation can listen to for guidance and support. From Giving Excellence Movement, we love you and know you can and will give excellence in every area of your lives. Hey, what y'all think about that new commercial? Brought to you by your boy GK Films.
Thank you, GK.
Who is producing our Aces Dallas show that we'll have a guest coming in next episode to talk about. But we're going to close with her talking about, Raven Turner is going to be talking about her book Push and how you can connect with her so we can get you that last.
Raven, I got a quick question. Why do they need to purchase this book?
Yes.
So this book, Pushed, everyone should get a copy of this book.
Okay.
Pushed here. It is about turning adversity into advantage. It is about how adversity, repeated rejection, and failed pursuits can propel you into success.
Okay.
Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, you know, what is this book about? So the beginning chapter, the first chapter is a little bit about my story, which I've kind of already told you guys, getting rejected from Nike and all these other sports teams. I have the actual emails in there.
Okay.
So you can see, like, it's real, you know, how close I was. And then they dropped a bombshell on me and said, not today.
Yeah.
And then it talks about, you know, some of the chapters I'll tell you guys about is the power of being underestimated. You know, that's how I felt. But there's power in being underestimated because, like I said, when you're underestimated, it should do something internal to you. You know,
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, it should push you and drive you. I give an example of Michael Jordan in the book. He was underestimated. They counted him out. But, you know, when you really have a different type of appetite for what you want and it's past the point of hungry, because past the point of hungry means you're starving and you're going to do anything that you need to do to eat and get what you want. And that's how he got that scholarship to North Carolina. And then NBA winning 3 rings back to back to back.
Okay.
Everyone can't do that.
And just a quick question. Where can we find that book? Because I know people have to absolutely go grab Pushed. It's one of those books that I highly recommend. Go read it. Go check it out. Absorb that information. Where can we find it at, Raven? And also, where can everyone find you at on social media?
So you can find this book on Amazon. It's $20. Amazon.com. Just type in Raven Turner and then push in the search engine. You will find the book. I also have a Kindle version for everyone who doesn't like hardbacks. You can also go to my website, which is www.ravensambition.com. Just go to the push tab or the book tab and it'll take you to it. Now, if you want to get in contact with me for a speaking engagement, my email address is info@ravensambition.com.
Okay.
Again, that is info, I-N-F-O, @ravens with an S, ambition.com. Email me. We can see what we can do. Also, my social media contacts, Instagram and Twitter are both at Ravens Ambition. Ravens_ambition, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Instagram and Twitter, Ravens_ambition. Facebook is Ravens Ambition or Raven Turner.
So all they need to do is
All
just
they
Google
need,
Ravens Ambition. If you can't find it, it will bring you to all the links that you need.
Thank you so much.
Raven, it's
Again,
been a
we're going to close
pleasure.
out, man. This is amazing. You brought our vision into reality. You are
Thank
a
you.
major part, and the fact that
you.
you were the first one only makes sense.
It's special.
And we are the Giving Excellence Movement. Mike Dunn and I started this a year and a half ago. This is the Giving Excellence Show. We will be bringing some more episodes to you here in the near future. Raven Turner, we love you. We thank
you, Raven.
We
Thank
praise
you.
you. And we want to do business with you here in the near future.
We are.
If not tomorrow. We're going to close out with a few thanks. Again, thanks Spayse Studios. We'll be back here next time. And from Giving Excellence Movement, this is Mike Dunn Jr. We got Raven Turner and
Thank you for
Sean
having me,
Doherty
guys.
here. Over and out.
We out.
See y'all soon.